Hello, this is going to be your Chapter 9 test review. Part 1 is just questions 1 through 7 on your review, so if you're looking for questions 8 through 14, that's going to be a Part 2. Let's get started. For number 1, I went ahead and just wrote this one out. For the surface area of a rectangular prism, remember this includes rectangular prisms like you're seeing now or cubes, you can use this formula, 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. And all I did was plug in L for 3, W for 4, and 5 for height. It really doesn't matter which one is which as long as one is length, one is width, and one is height. Multiplying all those and then adding them together, you should get your grand total of 94 feet squared. The second one, you're still finding the surface area. So what you're doing is you're trying to find all the area of the bases plus the area of the faces. The bases are going to be these two triangles, because remember the bases are the shapes that are parallel. You have a 4 by 3 triangle in the front and the back. Both of these are going to give you areas of 6 because you're doing 3 times 4 divided by 2. So if this one is 6 and this one is 6, together added, they will give you 12 for your area of the bases. The faces are going to be your 3 different rectangles. You have a 3 by 7 rectangle on the bottom. Then you also have, you have another face here on the top, a 5 by 7. And then finally in the back, you got one more, and it's a 4 by 7 because it's matching this same side back here. The 7 by 3 is 21, 7 by 5 is 35, and 4 by 7 is 28. I'm going to add all these together. So 21 plus 35 plus 28 gives you 84, and then you're just essentially adding the 12 plus 84 to get a grand total of 96. Yep. So 96 for number 2. For this next one, a little bit harder to look at because you have a pyramid, and that means all shapes are triangles. So notice right here you have a 6 by 5.2 triangle. A lot of people think it's a 6 by 6 because they see all of those measured around them, but make sure that you're using the base and the height. 5.2. And it's easy to tell with this little 90-degree angle in the back. 6 times 5.2, and then I'm going to divide that by 2, so it's 31.2 divided by 2 is 15.6. Just double check my work here. And then for the faces, it's going to be a little bit different. Notice that you have a 6 on all sides, so that's at least going to be one of them. And then the height of this is an 8. So we have 6 by 8, and then dividing it by 2. It's going to be 24 for each of those. So I've got 3 of them, so 24 times 3 gives me 72. And then you're just adding 15.6 to the 72, and you get, over here, 87.6 centimeters squared. Make sure you got that one correct. That one's a little tricky. Same thing here, number 4. This one gets a little bit easier because the base is just a normal regular shape, a square, 5 by 5. That's going to give you a 25 area. And then all of your faces, you're going to have 4 triangles that are 5 by 8. I know 5 by 8 is 40, dividing that by 2 is 20. And since I have 4 of them, I'm not going to draw all of them, but I'll do 20 times 4, and that gives me 80. And then I'm essentially just adding 80 and 25 together to get 105 feet squared. Number 5, remember your surface area of a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. The radius is 3, the height is 5. So the first part of the formula, 2 pi 3 squared plus 2 pi 3 times 5. I know 3 squared is 9, and 9 times 2 is 18, so that's 18 pi. And then over here, 3 times 5 is 15, 15 times 2 is 30 pi. Adding that together, I get 48 pi, but I want my decimal, so I'm going to take 48, and times it by 3.14, and you should get 150.72, and that'll be meters squared. Remember, if your test says to round to the nearest tenth, you'd only just round to one decimal place. This one didn't say it though, or for your review. 6, you had to fix this. You had to fix the 12 because the 12 is technically the diameter. We need to cut that in half and make it a 6. So the radius is now 6. Again, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So that's 2 pi times 6 squared plus 2 pi times 6 times 2. This is going to be 36, and 36 times 2 will give us 72. So 72 pi. And then over here on the right hand side, 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24 pi. So I got 72 pi plus 24 pi gives me 96 pi. So all I'm doing is 96 times 3.14. And you should get 301.44. If you got a really big number, so larger than this, you probably did not change the diameter back into radius. You probably use the 12 instead of the 6. So just go back and double check your work. Number 7, you're only doing lateral surface area. Remember, in the formula, it's not the 2 pi r squared, it's the 2 pi rh. Think of the lateral surface area as a label, and the label is showing the height, so you're only using the part of the formula that has the height in it. So I'm doing 2 times pi times 2.5 times 9.25. Definitely want to use a calculator for this one. So 2 times 3.14 times 2.5 times 9.25 should give you 145.225 inches squared. Again, if you got a really big formula here, you probably forgot to just use your lateral surface area formula, okay? This is going to conclude our video of part 1. So just make sure that you got all your questions right, and if needed, you can go back and double check your answers.